Hi guys, I'm Cody Jay and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you a very easy everyday makeup routine. So if your boss has been telling you to put away those rainbow eyeshadows and tone it down a little bit, this video is the one for you. Keep on watching. Okay, so before we get started with today's video, please make sure that if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, that you do so by clicking that big red subscribe button down below, because we have some goals that we need to accomplish this year, and we can't do them without people subscribing, so please subscribe. Now, to get this look started, again, this is going to be a very toned down look today. This is definitely for those of you who need to kind of have a more natural or neutral looking makeup routine for your employer. Now, I work in a factory during the day, so it's like it doesn't matter what I or anyone else looks like, but some of you obviously have office jobs or you're salespeople or whatever it may be, and you probably typically can't wear a lot of like intense makeup, and that's kind of reserved for like the weekend and like letting the real you come out time, you know? So this video is definitely going to be targeting those of you who need to take it down a little bit and you want some ideas on how to do so. So I just moisturized my face with my Olay Regenerist Micro Sculpting Cream. This is literally one of my absolute favorites. Now while that's drying, I'm going to take my Benefit Cosmetics Goof Proof Brow Pencil. Now I don't typically use this because I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow to get more precise lines with my brows, but I'm going to be using this because we're not going to go for like Instagram, you know, really filled in Sharpie looking brows. We're going to go for just a more of a natural kind of brow. So we're just going to very lightly drag this across our eyebrows just to fill them in and darken them just a little bit. And we're not here to change the shape or make them too defined, but we just want to fill in any little spaces. Like right here, you can see it dips down. So we're going to fill that in very lightly. So now you can see that it obviously has a bit of a better shape. And over here, you can tell there's a couple brow hairs that are missing. So we're just going to slightly fill them in. Nothing crazy. And just bring it down a little bit. Now just take your spoolie and just blend everything together and get rid of that little harsh line at the bottom. So you see how this one is darker than this one, and we hardly put any product in, but there's not so much product in it that they look really, really solid. So like if you get up close, you can see there's still little, you know, tiny little gaps where like you could see through my eyebrows, where when I use my dip brow, you can't really see anything. So obviously before, after, they definitely have a more, you know, perfected shape, but they're a little bit more filled in, and that's perfect. It's definitely not overdone, it's not too much, and it doesn't look like you really put anything in them. So let me do my other brow real quick. Okay, so now that brows are on, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Primer and just take a little bit of this and just rub this all over my face. Now, if you don't want to use a primer, just make sure that you're using at least a moisturizer. You want to give something for your foundation to really stick to and help it last a little bit better and look better, of course. Now for foundation, I'm going to be using my trusty NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. It just has such a nice finish to it that doesn't look like, you know, you have a ton of foundation on. So I'm just going to put this on the back of my beauty sponge, or the tip of it, I guess, and just start applying this. Now this is not super full coverage at all, which is obviously the goal of today's look, is to have a very downplayed, I guess, makeup look, to where obviously you're wearing makeup, but it's nothing too crazy. You definitely want a look that is a little bit more toned down and boss friendly. Alrighty, now that foundation's on, you can see it has a beautiful radiant finish to it. It fits the description perfectly. It's not full coverage. It has a really nice skin-like finish, which is perfect for the look we're going for today. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using my trusty Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 15 Light. Now I love this concealer because not only does it do a good job, but it's definitely not super brightening, which some of my concealers are. So you definitely get the concealing and kind of the highlighted effect without it being so super obvious. So just take your little sponge and just blend that all in and blend it out in a circular motion. Now to powder this face so we don't get any creasing, at least hopefully not, we're going to be using our Maybelline 15 Light Powder. Now I'm just going to take that same small beauty sponge that I used to apply my concealer and just press it in underneath my eyes, on my forehead, down my nose, and on my chin. Now you might be asking yourself, Cody, if I have to have a natural makeup look, can I contour? Yes, of course you can. So we're going to be using our matte bronzer from Essence Cosmetics. This is a very light but kind of buildable bronzing powder. So just take this on a super fluffy brush so you don't pick up a lot of product, and just place this very lightly anywhere you would contour, which is of course around the perimeter of your face. Highlight your cheekbones, go along your jawline. And of course, if you have a large forehead such as myself, do not skip the forehead. Now if you're wanting to slightly contour your nose, take that same powder with your fluffy brush, and just go down your entire nose, just to give your nose that color. Hold on a minute, I know it's dark. So we're gonna take some translucent setting powder. This is from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And just on the flat side, the angled side of the beauty sponge, just take a little bit of that powder and just take it right down the middle of your nose. Now we're gonna take a little bit more of that and just put it along the side. And we're gonna let it bake for just a little bit. Okay, once you have that powder sitting there for just a minute, just lightly brush it off with that same brush. I wiped off any excess product I had on it a minute ago. So there, we're definitely looking a little bit more snatched. We need to top it off a little bit of highlighter. This is from Makeup Revolution. This is Radiant Lights. It's a baked highlighter. So first I'm gonna spray my face with some Morphe setting spray. This will help lock everything in and give something for the highlighter to stick to. So just take this and just apply it very lightly on the high points of your face. Now, of course, you're allowed to go to work with a little bit of highlight. You gotta be popping just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Like, we wouldn't use our Jeffree Star like ice cold highlighter because that's blinding. We want something a little bit more subtle, but just enough to where it picks up the light a little bit when you turn. Again, this is a casual makeup look. This is a professional makeup look. Now just take it down the bridge of your nose. Alrighty, now that our face base is done, we're gonna move on to our eyes. We're gonna be priming them with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyeshadow Primer. Now, I just did do a video where I compared the Anastasia Beverly Hills Primer and the P. Louise eyeshadow base, so if you have not checked that out, please go do so real quick. After this video, of course, watch this video all the way through, and then go watch that one. So just apply this to both your eyelids real quick. Make sure it's blended and smooth. Okay, so for the eyeshadow look today, we're gonna be mainly using our Makeup Geek Neutral Matrix eyeshadow palette. Now, this obviously has so many things to choose from. Literally all of these would be appropriate for work, somewhere in the office, something like that. So we're gonna take a fluffy blending brush like so, and we're gonna dip into something pretty light first. I think I want something like this one right here. So we're gonna take that more olive brown and just start putting a little bit of a wash of color on our lids. Now you see how this gives it a really nice little wash of color. It's not too dark, it's not too intense. It's definitely something that you're gonna notice, but it's definitely something that's a lot more toned down and neutral. Now, obviously, if you want and can have some color on your eyeshadow, like something like a pop of a more vibrant color, then we can do that on the inner corner. We can do that on the lid with a shimmer. But for the main part of your eyeshadow, the stuff that's gonna be seen the most, you'll definitely wanna keep it more toned down. So just make sure that everything's in a circular motion and blend it out very, very nicely. Now I'm going to take a slightly smaller blending brush. This is the Morphe M507, and I'm thinking about deepening that up in my crease with something like this, maybe this dark purple right here, the third from the last, right there, there we go. That one. So I'm going to take that because I definitely think it will complement the color that we already have. So we're just going to push that in the crease and make sure we stamp it on and all the way around. And then when we get the color that we want, we're going to blend it upwards into that first color. So now that we have it kind of stamped on and kind of relatively in the shape we want, stamp it diagonally down onto your lid. Make sure you bring it out towards the corner. Now take that same brush, now blend out the edges. Now once you have everything blended to filth, take that first brush, dip into that first shadow, tap off any excess. We don't want a ton of product on here. Very lightly, take it and blend it around the edges just to make sure everything is blended seamlessly. And that way we bring back a little bit of the first shade that might have gotten lost a little bit when we were blending out the second one. There, perfection. So for right now we're leaving this section done because we're gonna be taking our Colorful Matrix palette from Makeup Geek and we're gonna be dipping into a shimmer. So to complement this, I think that we're gonna go in with this third shimmer right here. Now these are amazing because they're like a cream formula. Now I did a video back a few months ago where I went over all of these Makeup Geek shadows in depth, did swatching, did a live, went over everything and anything, pricing, I went over the lashes, and it was a pretty good video, so definitely go check that out. And as always, you can use code CodyJ for 10% off your entire order. So for the shimmer, that third one, I'm going to be taking a flat brush like this. Now I'm not going to put any primer there because we already have some, and I'm not going to cut my crease because this is supposed to be a rather quick makeup look, because who has time in the morning to be cutting creases? Not me, probably not you. So we're just going to leave that space open as if we cut our crease, and you're just going to very nicely and neatly, that's right, be nice with your shadows, we're going to apply this right on the spots that don't have any of that shadow, and of course bring it to our inner corner. And you're pretty much just going to trace around it, like pretty much where your eyeball is. Now, since I have hooded eyes, I take it up a little bit more into that darker second shade, but you don't have to. but we're just gonna, of course, make sure that we put it on the spots that don't have any shadow at all. Now we're gonna take it all the way over to where that darker shadow where we brought it down diagonally, that's gonna be the stopping point. Then we're gonna take a brush like this one right here, and we are going to take this into something darker. I'm thinking we're gonna dip back into that first palette, and we're gonna take a little bit of this down at the bottom. It's like a black cherry. So we're gonna take that, since it'll be our darkest shade, and we're going to kind of apply it on the outer V and blend it into where that line with the shimmer is. So just back and forth, blend it in. Take it up and around a little bit. Now, do you see the harsh line between the shimmer and the dark? No, you don't, because we don't do harsh lines, and neither do you. And if you do, stop. So that eye looks so stunning. Like I said, this is super appropriate for work or anything. If you have a special meeting you have to go to, like, this is perfect. It's something that allows you to wear makeup, you get to have fun with it, you get to be creative, you get to obviously have something on your eye, which is important, but it's stunning and it's not like overwhelming. It's not like eye-catching to where you're like, you know, rainbows, you know, that's what I like to do, but this is definitely something that's beautiful and appropriate and very, very easy to recreate. Now, real quick, I'm gonna do my other eye off camera and I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the eye look all complete. It's very, very toned down, very neutral, but stunning at the same time. They are both blended to fill. The inner corner has a little bit of a pop of a highlight. Now for that, I also use this same shimmer right here, the third one. Now for under my eyes, I took this second shade right here, and then I blended it out with the one above it just to kind of pull everything together, but I didn't want it to be as intense underneath it because then it kind of makes you look sad and a little bit scary. So for lashes, I also use ones that are really natural. They just look like they accentuate my natural lashes. Now those are also from Makeup Geek, so you'll definitely want to check those out. And again, one last time, you can use code Cody J for 10% off your entire purchase. Now we have one little thing left, and that is for lips. I'm going to be using my Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Celebrity Skin. This is a really beautiful nude, which I think complements the entire look because it's not bold, it's very toned down, of course, and it really lets the attention be on your eyes. So we're just going to throw this on real quick. All right, lips finished. One last little setting spray mist. And that is the look all complete. Now again, if you guys are looking for something that's a little bit more toned down, a little bit more 9 to 5 typical workplace appropriate, this is the look for you. I think at the same time it's super stunning, and you can wear this to anything if you wanted to. I definitely think the eye, just the way it's set up, is really, really stunning. I'm just like admiring myself right now. I just love the intensity on the lid itself, while definitely staying a little bit toned down but blended and stunning all around it. I think dragging the colors that I chose underneath definitely brings it all together without being too much. And again, the lashes definitely accentuate the lashes that I already had without being too dramatic and too, you know, over the top, which is dramatic, but you get the point. So I think all in all, this look is really stunning. So I would love for you guys to either recreate this look and tag me in it on Instagram or Twitter, or if you guys have other types of videos you'd like to see from me, let me know in the comments down below. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you'd like to keep up with all things Cody J, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok, all at Cody J Artistry. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up down below. Click that big red subscribe button so you can join my YouTube family. Turn on my YouTube video post notifications by clicking that bell icon and switching it to all. And I thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.